What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, if you were online today, you probably saw the same headlines I did. Something about Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi getting a positive or quote-unquote amazing update about making their version of Spider-Man 4. And while the headlines weren't as misleading as you would normally think in this case, and yes, there is a positive update regarding the project. The guy who's trying to write and get the project made is actually the one who issued the update. There is still a long way to go. We're going to break down who said it, what they exactly said, the boxes that have already been checked in order to make this project greenlight, and the real possibility that we might end up getting a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 4 directed by Sam Raimi. We're going to break it all down, but first I want to tell you guys briefly about an opportunity to come meet me, say hi, and check out my band. We will be announcing more dates across the US for 2026, but on November 15th, 3 weeks from today, we're going to be playing in the greater Tampa area. Tickets are cheap, only $15, but extremely limited. I'll be doing a casual meet and greet when doors open and after the show, so come by, say hi, check out the band. It's a great time. There's a link down in the description and comments, and we'll see you in Tampa on November 15th. Okay, so in order to understand today's update, you need just a little bit of context here. The writer and filmmaker's name is Mattson Tomlin. He wrote the Batman Part 1 and Part 2 with Matt Reeves, among a ton of other stuff. He has said out loud that he wants this project to get made. Spider-Man 4, Tobey Maguire coming back, and seeing Tobey Maguire exploring being a father, and really a different take on an older Spider-Man than we've seen, again featuring an older Tobey Maguire who's married, has a kid, and has to weigh the family themes against also trying to be Spider-Man at the same time. This was actually back in July of this year, and the direct quote was, quote, "Honestly, right now, my main interest in this respect would be to write a Spider-Man 4 where Tobey's Spider-Man is juggling being a husband and a father. Spider-Man as a father is where I gravitate towards, given the last 8 films. Well, when someone asked him about this point blank today, this is what he had to say, quote, "Slow and steady wins the race. There won't be anything to say about that for a long time, if ever, because it involves a lot of people and politics and things going right that have nothing to do with me. But I haven't gotten a quote-unquote no yet." So basically what he's saying is, look, there is still a long way to go, but he's trying to push the ball forward, and no one has said no. Now, he's right. There's a lot of bureaucratic red tape when it comes to the Spider-Man IP, how things can exist in the live-action universe, but what's crazy is that he's actually checked a lot of boxes already, and some of the important ones. This would actually be a major sore subject, because if you guys don't remember, Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi, they were full on go with Spider-Man 4 and pretty close to production. What ended up happening though was because of creative differences between Sam Raimi and Sony with what was going on with the script, they ended up pulling the plug, and of course we know what happens next. They end up rebooting the franchise with Andrew Garfield, but things are different now, and what I would say is there were a lot of years and times over the last decade where saying this out loud would have seemed extremely silly, but the fact that both Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi are involved directly with Marvel and Sony and still making Marvel movies, the fact that we're going to see Tobey Maguire most likely, if not in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. There's been rumors of him already on set and filming in London, including those behind the scenes set photo leaks of him in the makeup chair that we still don't know whether are real or not. The fact that they're both still doing this means more likely than not, they'd be willing to do Spider-Man 4 if the project was right. And in fact, they've both been asked point blank about this. Tobey Maguire said he would do it in the wake of Spider-Man No Way Home, but that Sam Raimi had to direct, and Sam Raimi said that he would love to do it again if the script was right, but they would have to change some of the things from the original Spider-Man 4 because things are just different now. Now, we've reported multiple times at the channel that there most likely is going to be a Doctor Strange 3. That title has stayed in the rumor mill for the better part of a half decade, and seemingly Doctor Strange 3 was always going to be a thing. There's not really many instances where Marvel Studios pulls a plug on a franchise only 1 or 2 movies in. I think the Marvels may be the very first candidate for that, deserving or not. The fact that it went from Captain Marvel 1 to the Marvels, well, all I'm saying is we may not see a 3rd installment, and if we do, it may focus on Miss Marvel or maybe the Champions project still. But Sam Raimi's name has been tied to directing Doctor Strange 3 because he did a great job with Multiverse of Madness. The studio reportedly wants him back. He has interest in doing it, and so they probably have to get through that project first. And again, Tobey Maguire is involved with Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. That's going to take up the better part of the next 36 months for the studio. So when he says that there's not anything that he can say about it and for a while, that's what he means. There's a lot of other stuff going on right now, but I think the biggest thing working in his favor, again, outside of the fact that Tobey Maguire and Sam Raimi are still making Marvel movies and working with Sony and Spider-Man IP, is that Sony doesn't have a Spider-Man right now, and their Venomverse, Spider-Verse, without a Spider-Man, whatever you want to call it, that Rogues Gallery universe is completely defunct. And while initial reports seem to indicate that Sony basically capitulated and ended this Sony Spider-Verse without a Spider-Man because they realized it wasn't working, pretty quickly we were getting follow-up reports that they're going to try it all over again. Now, which direction they go now is pretty much unknown, and I think Miles Morales would be an excellent candidate and for a way forward. We know we won't be seeing him in live-action Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars because Kevin Feige basically said that Sony is holding off on that until they complete the Into the Spider-Verse trilogy with animation. That being said, you could have Miles Morales as live-action over in the live-action Sony Spider-Verse that's definitely getting a reboot. But if they're not going to do that, that is the perfect opportunity to have an older Tobey Maguire Spider-Man feature in his own film and make Spider-Man 4. Now, where that leads, pretty much unknown. I don't know how that could possibly tie to having future movies after that. And I don't think Sony wants to split live-action Peter Parkers, meaning having Tom Holland's Peter Parker have a trilogy in the MCU, while you have a new trilogy, 4, 5, and 6, for Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. There is a lot of red tape that is going to stop Matt Tomlin and really anybody from getting this movie made. It's a lot of contracting, it's a lot of lawyers, but man, things already where you'd have to say, well, you can't do it until you do this, and you get this, and you get this, and you get this. He made it through all those already. Sam Raimi said he'd do it. Tobey Maguire said he would do it. The project has to be right. Sony doesn't have a Spider-Man. They don't even have their own Spider-Man live-action Spider-Verse. So all these things are lining up possibly to have this be made, but man, don't expect any sort of real announcement or update about this or greenlighting for this for quite some time, and really probably until after Avengers Secret Wars is done, coming towards the end of the decade, maybe 2029, 2030. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments as always. Is this something you'd even want to see? And if Sony is going to reboot their Spider-Verse, would you want it to be an older Tobey Maguire, or do you think Miles Morales is the way forward there? I'm all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Still giving away PS5s and other stuff at the channel. All you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Catch my band live in Tampa next month on November 15th. Link down in the description and comments. About half the room is gone already, so if you're planning on coming, grab your tickets early. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. Find me on all other platforms with original music under the name Allfires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking my music out and supporting my band, thanks for checking this channel out and supporting my main YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.